Welcome to Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole, hosted by two nationally published Atlanta interior designers, Joanne Kandrak and Kelly Cole. These energetic women are also world travelers, charity givers, and bloggers with a wealth of information to share and stories to tell about the interior design world. Okay, now just a warning, this is going to be fun and not too serious. After all, they still do have an interior design business running at full speed.
Hey there, welcome to Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole. This is Joanne Kandrak, and this is episode number 63. And today we are very excited to have guests Ray and Joanne Hallare of Dowel Furniture.
So before we get started with this show today, we want to bring attention to our very first sponsor, Hallare Brothers. We reached out to a small handful of companies that we feel very, very strongly about and asked them to support our show. And Jay and Mark Hallare, who are brothers that run a custom manufacturing company of custom hardware, were the first to jump in. They are really the primary and almost only source that we use for custom hardware for all of our window treatments. We adore them. They can customize anything. We use most of their iron collection, and we use a lot of their French rods. We've just finished in the Kiowa job. We had a huge bay window that was our installer made a custom template for, sent it on to Hallare, custom made. And so we're big fans, and we've used them. They've been in business for 24 years, and we just love them. They have 50 employees all here in the U.S. 80% of their management is female. So shout out to those guys. And they are really a company that we want all of our designers to make sure you're tapped into for your drapery hardware needs. Any order that you place over $100 is ship free, and you will just not believe their customization and their customer service. So check them out.
Okay, so here we go. We met Ray and Joanne at the Design Influencers Conference in Atlanta back in February, and we were introduced to them by Mally Skok. Mally Skok is a friend of ours. She's a South African-born designer. She designs textiles and wall covering, and she lives in Boston. So she was working with them on a furniture collection. Joanne and Ray work with their family factory in the Philippines, and that has been manufacturing furniture for over 30 years for high-end brands in the U.S.
So we're so happy to introduce this brother and sister duo and have them tell us a bit more about them and their company. So welcome, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, let me just tell everybody very quickly that we are here in Atlanta, and it's 10 a.m., our time, and Ray and Joanne are in the Philippines, and it is 10 p.m. So
at their factory.
At the factory there.
Yep.
So tell us, you guys, what did you do prior to starting Dowel? Dowel Furniture is spelled D-O-W-E-L. What did you do prior to starting Dowel Furniture?
Nothing related to furniture.
Exactly. I love that.
I was working at an e-commerce company out in Boston, handling a lot of their operations and project management. And I mean, Joanne was
so I was in tax and accounting, working for a hedge fund. Totally different kind of work. But I mean, we grew up in the furniture industry with our parents, and we used to go to markets even when we were working our corporate jobs. Like, we'd go with our dad, and I remember going when we were still young kids. I don't know how we snuck in. I don't know how young we were, but we would go to High Point Market as children. And I think we worked at the factory too, not as like child labor or anything, but like the
just
summers. Exposure. In the summers, our dad would make us work when we were kids, and Ray would end up in inventory, like counting dowels, which is why we named it Dowel Furniture. I don't know if we shared that before, but
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, and I was the paper shredder, so we weren't going to name the company
that's
like
hilarious.
Furniture Company.
Yeah.
You both had these different careers, so what was your motivation to leave those jobs and do this?
Like, was there an aha day that you're like, let's blow this popsicle stand? Just forget it.
It was a little bit of both. It wasn't a major aha, but then I was at my previous job, and it was just getting to a point where I felt like I needed a new challenge, a new opportunity, and just wanted to do something different. And thought about, we do have this family business that has been running for a long time now, and thought about kind of the furniture industry as well as just the nature of retail and how it's evolving right now. And thought that there might be an opportunity to kind of merge the two and figure something out where we could do something in furniture as well as take some of the e-commerce background that I've learned. Needless to say, after kind of doing some more investigation, we ended up not doing anything in e-commerce and ended up working more with the trade. But and then after that, Joanne and I just kind of starting to talk, and it just so happened that she was kind of interested as well.
Yeah, I had the let's blow this popsicle stand moment. When Ray told me the idea, I was like, oh my God, yes, I'm so done with tax and accounting. But secretly, I do love it. But when he told me that, I was like, you know what? I feel like now is the time to take this risk and see where it goes. And, it would be great to help our dad grow this business that essentially he had before us. He started it maybe 2 years before I was born, and it's essentially his first child. And I feel like, we should try to keep the legacy going. Like, he's put so much into it, and I think we really owe it to him to try.
I love that so much.
I
just saw on your Insta stories today that there was a picture of Armando, who is the plant manager, has been working for over 30 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that legacy is, I guess, very important. So, but you guys kind of went at it with a little bit of a different angle, and you are positioning yourself with collections from designers.
Yeah. How did you even come up with that direction?
Well, I mean, since we didn't really have any background in furniture at all, we had a lot of learning to do. A majority of our background was mainly in the manufacturing side. And so we ended up kind of really just hitting the road meaning just kind of calling people, talking to them, kind of talk to a bunch of homeowners, prospective owners, as well as to the trade clients. And after kind of talking to more and more people, we just found that working with the trade was definitely a better fit for what we wanted to do, both in the economics of the business in terms of kind of where our costing structure would land, as well as just general outlook on growth, and where we really want to focus on just more building relationships rather than kind of doing a more digital brand type scenario.
Yeah. And when Ray says that we just started calling designers, Ray essentially went on House and took like a list of 100 designers and just started cold calling everyone. Like, he would spend hours and hours upon each day just calling every single number, trying to get someone on the phone, or just trying to talk to them and ask them questions about what they're looking for in a furniture company. Like, what do they need as designers? Yeah,
and funnily enough, the more we spoke to people and told them our story about with the factory, more and more people asked us, oh, you have a factory? Maybe you'd want to do a collection, or maybe I have a couple design ideas. And so the more we talked to people, the more that kept coming up. And so we kind of stumbled onto an opportunity where we thought there's a wealth of design talent out there, and we just have a unique way and means to do the manufacturing kind of flexibly and bring their ideas to market. And so we thought that maybe that could be a good opportunity for us to break into doing new designs, something that hasn't been kind of filled in the market, and at the same time kind of fills our need for lacking kind of a design background ourselves.
So who are your current design partnerships with? Tell us about what each one of those designers brings to your company.
Well, we have 3 so far, one on the way. The first one that we collaborated with was with Barbara Elza Hirsch, and she's based in Concord, Mass. And we started with Barbara just out of pure just randomness. We signed both Barbara and Duncan, our second collection, Duncan Hughes, at the same time. And Barbara just signed the paper first before Duncan. So we were like, okay, we're going to start with Barbara. And her collection is more of a traditional French, transitional, kind of Moroccan-inspired collection. And I think what I think really makes these collections very interesting is that they have a very unique point of view that shares the story of each designer. But also,
I love that.
I think it's great. And also the fact that a lot of the things that they create are things that they continuously look for as they're sourcing for clients. So it's not just that they're just doing designs to do designs. They're on the ground. They're not just product designers. They're the people who are specifying these products in these projects, and they can't find these things. And I'm sure they're not the only ones. So I think that brings a lot of value to the table, where it's an interior designer who's doing projects constantly, and they can't find these things, and so they're making it.
Absolutely. And that shows that is a great kudos to you guys that from a manufacturing standpoint, you can accommodate what they're putting on your plate.
Yeah. And how smart. You guys are very smart, I have to say. and cold calling is not a fun thing to do. So, you're kind of an established, and cold calling isn't,
it's tough. It's definitely tough.
Interesting thing to do, and it's rejection and whatever. So, you have to put something in to get out. So good job.
And then how did you guys meet Mally?
Well, we met Mally actually at the Design Influencers Conference before we met you guys. So it was just last March, the one in LA. And
Joanne, we missed the boat. We could have been designing a whole furniture line with them.
Exactly.
But there's still time.
Yeah.
There's still time.
Well, we met Mally then, and we just started chatting. We told her that we were looking for our next collaboration because at that point in time, we had just launched Duncan, and we were kind of in this weird place where we didn't know what was next. Like, we found the 2 collections that we had launched had been really successful, and we're like, okay, we want to keep doing this like once a year at least, and keep launching new product and keep filling holes in the market that no one's hitting with different designers with unique points of view. And Mally just kind of came at the right time, and she was so, you guys know Mally. She's very enthusiastic.
She's awesome.
Yes. She's amazing. And she was just so excited, and her energy was just so, it got
contagious,
us. And also definitely contagious. And, we left LA, we were chatting, and then her and Ray had started obsessing over this milkmaid stool that they wanted to do. Ray really wanted a milkmaid stool, and Mally really wanted a milkmaid stool. And I would get this barrage of texts from both of them with photos of milkmaid stools they see on the street. Like, guys, this is it. It's happening. We're missing the boat. We have to do it.
Yeah.
And then we had lunch with her in New York. And I mean, when she explained the rest of the collection and how it kind of grew from the milkmaid stool to all these different things. And when we left lunch, Ray and I were like,
I think this could be it.
This is it. I want to work with Mally. Do you want to work with Mally? And we just decided right then and there.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the decision-making part in terms of kind of finding designers for us really comes down to a lot of the person that we want to work with. And Mally, after leaving that lunch, was just blew us away, both in personality as well as kind of her product vision and her point of view of what she wanted to do with the collection.
And
a total win-win.
She's like such a creative and just one of the most hardworking people I've ever met, like true hustler.
Well, that was going to be my next question, because I think we've talked about this is, what do you look for in a design partnership? So anybody that's listening, if they're interested in that, what would you say is your number? Well, okay, they have to be enthusiastic. They have to be they have a lot of energy, and they have to work hard.
Yes. They have to work hard. Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really about finding a true partner. It's not about just your name or your portfolio or your reach. It's really about, for us, because we're a small business, and it's about each designer's unique point of view. Like someone who truly believes in their collection and someone who's willing to put in the work to take it to the next level with us.
Yeah.
I love that you're saying that, because there's so many people who are just looking for the people that have a lot of followers, or just looking for the person who's very,
influential.
Influential. So I think you're doing it in the most authentic way, and I think that says a lot about you.
The micro influencers, as we're starting to see now, are closer to the ground, and they're closer to a very authentic audience. And that's how that's how Joanne and I consider ourselves. And I think that we get looked over for some opportunities that we see some of our peers doing, because we don't have skyrocketing, numbers all over Instagram and whatever. But the ones that we do have are well earned and are real. Yeah. So we're fine with it.
They're true loyal followers.
Exactly. They really engage with you.
Yeah.
Totally. So let me ask you this, because a lot of people are always very curious about our partnership. There's not a lot of us out there. And so for you guys as business partners and siblings, which is an interesting combo, how do you guys, for example, how do you agree on, let's say, your business decisions, or, the direction of your company, or how do you guys play off each other?
Luckily, our parents raised two kids that have very complementary skill sets, but very different.
Yes.
When we first started the company, we had a lot of, we butted heads a lot more. I was coming from a very structured, finance background, and Ray was coming from a startup background that was very flexible and very okay with the unknown. So it was tough in the beginning just trying to figure that out. But over time, we found things in our business that we're both really good at and that we actually do enjoy. And we kind of stick to our own lanes.
Yeah.
We talked about where we want the business to grow, and we kind of just implicitly trust each other that the other person is doing what's best for the business in their lane.
Yeah. A lot of it comes down to trust. Like she said, we butted heads a lot earlier on just because we'd never worked together. So we just didn't have similar work styles, nor did we really know where each other was. But as we kind of really hunkered down and kind of fought through a bunch of fires at work, it came down to a level of trust that at the end of the day, I'm not going to bother kind of trying to really figure out whether or not what she's doing is good or not. It's just because there's a complete trust that
there.
It's going to come out well.
She's doing what's right for the company, and he's doing what's right for our company. And we both just have a general goal.
Exactly.
Well, we were lucky enough to see Mally's collection when we were in High Point back in April. And so tell us a little bit more about the furniture and how many pieces you have and what kind of the vibe is of it.
High Point is coming up after all. Yep. So what are we going to see?
Well, Mally's collection is pretty much a very collected, global, Mally-esque collection. It's essentially like, if you read through our catalog, every piece in her collection has a story from her life. Mm-hmm. And if you go through it, it's like pretty much Mally's entire life. She has this one chair, the lounge lizard, that if you read the product description, she actually says that she stole it from her ex-husband. and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. When she first told us that it was going to be called Lounge Lizard, it's like, what is a lounge lizard?
A lounge lizard? And I think it's like very, she draws a lot on antiques and things that have inspired her over time, things she loves, this milkmaid stool that she's obsessed with, that Ray is also obsessed with. And it's very eclectic.
We are all going to have to go look at that now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, yeah. And she's, the whole thing was that she wanted things that were antique but not stuffy, like something you could see in a Manhattan apartment, but also like a cottage in like in Nantucket or in the middle of Massachusetts somewhere. And
that's so funny because I feel like her collection does look like that.
Yes, it really does.
Yeah. Like I think
people are really looking they're really looking to connect in this day and age of just furniture vomit. I feel like everybody's like, looking for a story, looking for something to make it feel special, looking for customization, looking for, that. And that helps us as designers to then turn around and sell it to our clients, because it might be that there's a connection that we can create a thread between ourselves and that client and that piece of furniture. And then it just helps to sell.
Yeah. So for our listeners, if you're not a designer, they can still look at your product on your website, correct?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's Dowel, Dowel Furniture.com. And then for designers,
DowelFurnitureCompany.com.
It's DowelFurnitureCompany.com.
Company.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. Okay. So, and then if you're a designer, they can reach out to you directly for a trade account.
That's correct.
Yes, you can also apply on our website. We as soon as you land, you'll see apply for a trade account at the very top.
Okay.
And for designers, do you guys have an opening order requirement?
We do not.
Nope,
That's
no
nice.
opening order requirement. Yeah.
Oh, and one of the things I forgot about, you guys can customize anything. So if there's a table that I really like that's 48 wide and I need it to be 58 wide, can you do that?
Yes, as long as it makes sense in terms of design, and we'll just go back and forth and kind of come up with a middle ground if it's something that we need to adjust, anything that's structural.
Yeah, working with us is kind of like, it feels like you're working with your local workroom.
Yeah.
We're very high touch. When you email the help@dowel.furniture email, either Ray or I will reply to you.
Yeah, so it's
That's
you
awesome.
pretty
I was
much
gonna
reach
ask that.
both of us.
Yeah, it's not like a random void of help@Dowel Furniture. It's
Yeah.
one of us will reply to you.
So if it's a customization request, most likely you'll get a response that's more thoughtful in terms of what they're actually trying to accomplish.
I really love that, and I hope as you guys grow and become more and more successful that it stays that way. You know, it is that high touch that everybody wants these days, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure designers love being in direct connection with a factory versus having to go through a middleman who doesn't really fully understand what they're getting.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, the industry is changing so much, and the big huge furniture companies, they're out there, but you guys are doing something very different, and I think it's very special.
Well, and Joanne and I have learned that we can spend an entire day looking for the perfect piece that's never out there. So it's just way better for time efficiency and creativity and the whole 9 yards to just partner with a great company like you guys and go straight to customization and get exactly what you want and then stop all this nonsense.
Like a perfect example, we do so many swivel chairs. And so there's many times that we're putting a table in between the swivel chairs. And I don't always want a pedestal table, but I want those arms to go underneath that table.
So
and
everything doesn't go flying when you turn. Yeah.
I'll be looking for 2 hours, and then I'll go, how hard is it to find a 26-inch high table with the whatever? And Kelly would be like, do you want me to take over? I'm like, yes. I've spent way too much time on this. So customization is very, very important.
Totally.
It really is. Yeah. Definitely give us
So
a ring
Yes.
if you ever need that table.
Yeah. So as we said, High Point's coming up, everybody. And so you guys will be in the IHFC building on the main floor in Interhall. So that's amazing.
That is a great place to be. So much traffic.
Yeah, we love it. It's a really great place to be. We've met so many amazing designers and just people coming through, and it's been a really wonderful experience for us.
Yeah, I mean, even just the people in Interhall also, the other companies are great.
We've made really good friends with the other exhibitors as well.
Well, I just think I remember meeting you guys for the first time and just thinking how incredibly friendly you were and approachable and happy and smiley. And we met you again in High Point. And so for all of our designer listeners out there, if you haven't met Joanne and Ray, you've got to stop by. They're at Interhall 112. And just, I think your collection is super duper unique too and really different. And I think it's important that, people come and see you. And then you guys are going to be on a panel as well at High Point, right?
Ray will be on a panel.
Ray will be on the panel, Mr. Ray.
Yeah, so this sounds like a good one. So it's going to be moderated by Jill Wage of Traditional Home. And the title is How to Work with White Private Label and the Benefits of Building Your Own Brand. And then you're with Lynai Jones of Mitchell Black. We love her.
We love her.
Mabley Handler,
Love
the
him.
Hamptons interior designer. And Michelle Nussbaumer. Woohoo.
Yeah.
The Dallas
that
interior
is a
designer.
great panel of great
It
people.
really is.
No.
Yeah, no, we're super
fantastic.
excited. I'm kind of sad to be missing it, but I'm going to have someone take a video.
Somebody has to be at the booth.
Yeah.
So that's Sunday from 3:30 to 4:30 in the Suites at Market Square Seminar Room, which is a great space. We've been there many times. Actually, we spoke there one time.
we did.
And so that's not to be missed. So we're just so pleased to know you guys. And again, you guys are sponsors of some of our upcoming podcasts, which we are so grateful for. And we just wish you all the best. It's really wonderful to watch you guys grow. And if you need to collaborate with us, just you know where to find us.
Yeah. And I have to
Yeah,
say,
of course.
I just want to ask you quickly about your family. Like your dad, I mean, your parents probably are very proud of you and are probably very excited that you decided to, kind of come and keep everything kind of going. What have you learned from them? What are probably your best takeaways from your parents?
Well, our dad is definitely very, very excited. Our mom is as well. And I guess the most important lesson that they've imparted upon us is to value relationships above all else, as this will take you the furthest in your business and in life. And I think Ray and I have made like a few mistakes in building our company, but I truly believe that I guess the best decisions we've made as in business to grow is the people that we've chosen to work with in every aspect of our company, from our licensees to our consultants to like anyone we've really encountered along the way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that really is awesome. Relationships really are.
They are the key.
They are the key.
Success, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hang with us because, we always do a little funny quote and a serious quote. So, Kelly, go ahead. You can do the funny quote.
I really like the serious quote this time. Okay, I'll do the funny one. All right, me. And this is so me too. Me, I'm really busy and I don't have time to work out or do anything for myself. Also me, sees people arguing on Facebook and reads all 378 comments and takes an hour to do so.
Oh, yeah. Well, when people are fighting, I'm all about it. I mean, I keep on reading.
It's always
next thing
so juicy.
the next thing I know, 20 minutes have gone by. It's like, oh my God, I got to get away from this.
I could have worked out.
Yeah. All right. So this serious quote is, I think it says a lot.
Where did you find this one?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I really don't
I like
remember.
it.
But what I do is, as I'm looking through things and I find a quote, I kind of save it.
Yeah.
And this is a little long, but it's so important and I think it's so good. So,
Okay.
Please make sure that wherever you're at in life, you don't treat it like a transitory period. Don't waste your college years wishing to already be graduated and have a job. Don't waste your single years wishing for someone to be in love with. If and when those things come, they will come in due time and they will be good. But there's nothing like looking back and feeling empty because you wasted literal years ignoring what you had because you were hoping for something better. While it's important to better yourself and reach for your goals, don't neglect the present because that's where you are now and it's your now that determines your future. Amen.
Yeah, that's really good.
That is
Isn't that good?
hallelujah.
That is really good.
Yep.
Very, very good. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to your success at High Point, and
Go see them, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Please
We look
visit.
forward to seeing you ladies too.
Yeah. Thank you for
Please
having
stop
us.
by.
we sure will. And thanks to Helzer Brothers again for sponsoring this episode. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Join Joanne and Kelly weekly for a lively conversation about trends, travels to industry events, current design projects, the good, the bad, and the ugly, do's and don'ts, product recommendations, and more. Be sure to follow the fun on Facebook. They're on Instagram at Kandrak Cole, and of course, you've got to visit them online at kandrak-cole.com for more information.